Good day, students. Today we are going to combine our last two assignments to find out some new information that we can use for our next assignment. The assignments I'm talking about are the one that is on my screen right now, where we made the pie chart of a typical household's monthly budget. We basically read some information that told us how much of our income we should spend each month on certain items. So we decided here that the mortgage should be 25%, your car should be 10%, your personal items like your haircuts, clothes, that kind of thing should be 10%, your groceries should be 15%, your utilities should be 10%, your car, well, we said 10% for that, transportation 2%. That's not talking about your car payment. That's talking about like gas or taking the subway or that kind of thing. Your insurance, and that would be your homeowners, your medical, your car insurance should be 5%. Savings should be 7%. Debt, which is what you owe people, should be 8%. And then your discretionary is what is left over that you can spend on whatever you want, should be 8%. And we put all of these percentages in, and then we entered a formula to double check ourselves and make sure we were at 100%. Because you can't go over 100%, because if you do that, you're spending more money than you bring in, and that will increase your debt, and you don't want to do that. So we went in to put this formula. We used a pre-formulated formula here under the sigma here. This is a Roman sigma, which looks like a backwards E. You click on it, choose sum, and then it puts the formula in for you and gives you the answer in the cell. So in this case, B12 equals the sum of B2 to B11. See that up there in the formula bar? This is your formula bar. When you have a formula in a cell, the formula shows up on the formula bar and the answer shows up in the cell. Today we're going to work a little bit more with formulas, and we're going to combine this assignment with this assignment. Friday we looked on the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and you guys did a little career research and decided on a particular career that you would like to do. And I'm using Jocelyn Martinez's example here. She wants to be a physical therapist. And so she did a little research here and found out how much she would make each year, how long she'll have to go to school, whether or not the field is growing, what career cluster her job was in, and then she put her duties and responsibilities down below. Now today we're only going to be concerned with this figure right here, which is the annual salary. So Jocelyn's going to be making $86,850 per year, which is a very nice salary. I'm going to copy that using a Control-C, and then I'm going to go ahead and just close that. Now today we are going to find out the dollar amounts that Jocelyn will be able to spend in each one of these categories. And we're going to be doing that by entering formulas on this spreadsheet. So before we do that, I want to explain again about cells on a spreadsheet. Your cells are each one of these little boxes here. For example, I'm right now on C6 because it's column C, row 6. If I click here, I'm in A13. And if I click here, I'm in B15, and so on. Okay, so we're going to be entering values in each one of these. We're going to calculate using our income to find out what the dollar amounts would be for Jocelyn. Now, in order to do that, I want to make a little room up here at the top of my spreadsheet to put in my income information. The way you do that is to click on the row, right-click, and then insert one row above. And I'm going to do that one more time just for aesthetics or the way it looks. Okay, now I want to point out, anytime you're making a list of information on a spreadsheet, let's say you forgot to put the car information in and you wanted it to go in this row right here, you can use this same function to make room and shift the rest of your sheet down to make room for the information you forgot. So don't ever worry about that and think that you're going to have to delete work you've done in order to insert a row, because you don't have to do that because you have your right click option here and you can insert a row anywhere you would like. Okay, having said that, let's go ahead and put in the income information. Her income's going to go here, and I'm putting in an annual income right here using Control V. But this is annual income, and this right here is a monthly budget, not an annual budget. So we're going to have to divide this income up into a monthly figure. And since there are 12 months in the year, we're going to divide 86,850 by 12 months in order to find out how much Jocelyn will bring home every month. So when you do a formula, you're going to always start with an equal sign. And you're telling the spreadsheet, we would like C1 to equal what I'm about to type in. So you're going to start with your equal sign, and then you just simply click on what you would like to do. You're going to click 86,000, and it's going to add B1 to your formula, and then we want to divide. So we're going to do the /, and since the 12 months always stays the same, you just type in the number 12 and hit enter. So that gives us a monthly figure for Jocelyn. She's going to be bringing home $7,238 per month to divide up down here into all of these items. So now we're going to put the actual amounts that Jocelyn can spend, and we're going to put a formula in each one of these cells to correctly calculate how much she needs to spend each month on each one of these items. The way you do that is you're going to put the formula in, and like I said, you start the formula with an equal sign, and then you click on the monthly income, which is C1, and then this time you're going to multiply that using a Shift 8, or there's a multiplication symbol above your number pad. And then you're going to click on the percentage for that expense. And the mortgage is 25%, and that's in B4. I'm just going to click on that 25% and hit enter. So now I'm going to go back on to the answer. Again, when you put a formula in, your formula shows up here, and your answer shows up here. And what we told the spreadsheet is that we want C4 to equal C1 times B4. And it calculates that amount for us. How great is that? You don't even have to do the math now. So let's go ahead and do this all the way down. Looking at personal expenses, we're going to begin with our equal sign. We're going to use C1 for the income, multiply times 10% in B5. Okay, again, our formula is going to be we want C5 to equal C1 times B5. And we're going to hit enter. And that gives us the amount she can spend on her personal items. Now let's just move on down the row. I want C6 to equal my income times my grocery percentage. Whoops, I did that wrong. We want it to equal C1 times 15%, and we're going to hit enter. For utilities, we want that to equal our entire income times Shift 8 or at your number pad, 10%, hit enter. We want our car to equal our entire monthly income times 10% and hit enter. We're doing this all the way down. We want the transportation line to be our C1 income times 2% and hit enter. And then we're going to move on down to insurance. We're going to want insurance to equal our income, which is C1 times the percentage for insurance, hit enter. And then we're going to go on down, savings, income times 7%, enter. Debt, we want it to equal our entire income for the month times 8%, enter. And then one more time, we're going to put in our entire income times percentage for discretionary and hit enter. Okay, we're going to put in one more formula, and this is to double check ourselves and make sure that all of this money adds up to the same as our income. And the way we're going to do that is by using the sum function again. And that's under here. You're going to choose sum and then simply highlight all of the dollar amounts you want to go into that and hit enter. Now let's see what we told the spreadsheet we wanted to do here. We want C14 to equal the sum of C4 through C13. And there you go. It matches perfectly. So that's great. So now we know Jocelyn can buy a house that costs $1,809 for her house payment. Her car, she can afford a $724 car payment. And then likewise, all of these other expenses, you can see the dollar amounts she can spend. Now, I would like for you to make your table look nice here. So we're going to highlight the actual column and put a border around it. Remember to do that. You click this window and then choose this option here. And now we have a nice little table with your actual dollar amounts. This is real life, folks. This is what you're going to have to do. So I want you, after this class, to save the spreadsheet, because when you get a job, you're going to have to do this breakdown. The last thing I would like to point out to you is that all of these formulas use variables instead of the actual numbers. We didn't put the actual number in here. We didn't put 7,238 times 25%, and I'm going to tell you why. You may want to change these or tweak these a little bit, and if you do that, your calculations will remain the same. For further clarification, let's say that Jocelyn gets a new job and she's making $96,850 per year. If I change this number and hit enter, all of these figures are going to adjust automatically because you have just programmed this spreadsheet to calculate all of these figures for you, no matter what number is in B1, because B1 will calculate to give you a new C1, and C1 is what you used for all of these formulas. So that means it saves you a lot of work if you do just a little bit of work up front, because using the cell number in your formulas up here means whatever number you put in C1 times whatever percent you put in the B column is going to calculate for your C column. Now, I'm going to cut you loose to work, and then we're going to do a really fun activity next. So if you don't understand some of this, you need to ask me in class. Have fun building it. Thanks, guys.